Well, thanks for joining me today for what is my first video of 2026. And as promised, it includes a giveaway. So keep watching and I'll give you details later. Now for this giveaway, you'll need to be subscribed, and I hope you'll stay subscribed as it looks like being an exciting year. We've got some trips planned and I'll be building a brand new bike in March, and I'll give more details about that in an upcoming video. You'll know that I take as much time as possible testing a product before I review it, and this is purely to ensure that it lives up to the claims the manufacturer makes. But this one was quite ridiculous, really. When I was sent a sample of NZero lubricant to test, I applied it to my chain and then forgot all about it, which was probably a good endorsement for the product, but not for getting the review done. If you're like me, you'll have an assortment of different lubricants you've collected. There's some that are your favourites, but there are some that you know you'll never use, but you still hang on to. So what's so special about NZero that you should consider adding yet another one to the list? Well, the main difference is that their chain lubricants are 100% biodegradable. I must admit that did leave me quite lukewarm. I'm sure we can all agree that we need to avoid polluting our waterways. It's bad enough with all the illegal dumping and littering that goes on. My problem, though, is that whenever products are made safer for us and the environment, we seem to have to compromise on effectiveness. And no matter how green we want to be, few of us would use an inferior lubricant on our bikes. So I did approach this test with a large degree of scepticism. NZero claim a 100% organic, biodegradable plant-based formula for their lubricants. And if you're a vegan, you'll be pleased to know they don't contain any beeswax or animal fats either. So when you wash your bike off, you can be certain you won't be harming aquatic life or nature in general. NZero also point out that while some mainstream lubricants are claimed to be biodegradable, a check of the label will often reveal the inclusion of harmful petrochemicals. So much for the environmental claims, but does it provide good lubrication? There are 3 NZero products I'm going to show you that I've fully tested: the dry lube, a wet lube, and a degreaser. In previous summers, I've used my own formula of paraffin wax dissolved in a slow cooker in which I immersed the chain. This provided great lubrication, but getting caught in a summer shower did leave rust spots if I didn't immediately wipe the chain clean and reapply the wax. So my expectations of the NZero dry lube weren't that high. Of course, before applying any lubrication, we need a perfectly clean chain. Now, I've previously used a popular brand of concentrated degreaser, but it wasn't until I researched this video that I actually had a look at the ingredients. As you can see, there's a long list, some of which are quite toxic chemicals. And that's the reason it comes with an associated warning. Fortunately, NZero supply a degreaser that contains the bare minimum of synthetic chemical and less than anything else on the market. So far more biodegradable. It's neutral pH and contains no perfumes or dyes, so it's as simple as can be while remaining effective. And this of course means it won't harm the paint and other surfaces on your bike. But again, is it effective? In this test, I smeared grease on 2 saucers. I tried my traditional degreaser on one, and then the other I used NZero. First I used my normal concentrated product. But I must say I did initially try this with their recommended dilution, which is 1 cap per litre of water. It didn't really work very well. So I've cheated a bit in their favour because I've added a stronger concentration, which is what I would normally use. And you can see how the grease is balling up. It's coming away from the surface. Obviously, if we were doing this for real, we'd be using a brush on our cassette, etc. And then, so I didn't put it down the drain, I just washed it in cold water. It's done a pretty good job, but if you look carefully you can see it is still a bit smeary. So now we're going to use the NZero degreaser, and this is the one that's using the minimum of synthetic chemicals. Again, I've given it 3 squirts, so it's the same as the other product. giving it a swish around. And you can see how the grease is balling up. Now this product is pre-diluted, so this is the strength you're going to get. This is the result you'll get. The concentrated product, I do find I have to put a lot more in than recommended. And as I've said, I tend not to measure it too carefully. So I do end up using more. And there we go, swish it off in the cold water again. And you can see it's actually much cleaner than my concentrated product. And the neutral pH makes it gentle and safer for my hands. On one occasion I didn't use gloves, so I used the NZero degreaser to clean my hands, and it didn't leave them dry like the one containing the nasties does. A downside is the cost. As this is pre-diluted and ready to use, it does work out more expensive per litre than the harsher concentrated products. However, I did find I used it more sparingly, so we have to decide what value we place on being environmentally caring. So now my chain was clean and dry, I applied the NZero dry lube. The applicator is effective and avoids waste, as it just twists to allow the correct amount of lubricant to flow. The smooth operation of the transmission was immediately noticeable, as well as a reduction in noise. But would it last? Well, it lasted so well that this is the reason for my late review. I just forgot about it. I rode most of last summer with just the original application. Although it was a dry summer, it still had some water to cope with, including washing. And the first time it got wet, I purposely avoided drying the chain to see how much rust appeared. But to my amazement, there was none at all. The NZero dry lube stuck like the proverbial to a blanket, and it kept out moisture and dirt, leaving the transmission looking good and running well for most of the summer. I didn't expect such a great performance, so didn't record my mileage, but as I'm building a brand new bike for this summer, I'll use the NZero dry lube and I'll keep a record of the miles I do with one application. I cleaned the chain and reapplied before our low countries trip, and there was no undue chain wear. I fully appreciate this is bad practice, so comments to this effect are unnecessary. I know I should have taken greater care of my drive, and I'll be wearing out the chain and the sprockets, but it was running so smoothly I simply forgot about it. Back in October, I cleaned the chain off again and applied the NZero wet lube. Now this is another highly viscous lube and is also applied through this special cap. As I said before, this avoids over application, so there's no waste or mess, and it goes a long way. I've been through lots of wet and mud with no sign of rust appearing on the chain. I just sprayed off with a hose, and while the chain was fine, I did reapply the wet lube due to winter conditions. I can't say this was any better than other major brands of wet lubes I've used, but it was just as effective, with the benefit that it doesn't contain anything polluting. Of course, it's not the cheapest on the market, but it's still competitive with major brands. So if you value the environment, you can use NZero products safe in the knowledge that they will provide performance that, in the case of the dry lube, will easily exceed that of many major brands. NZero products are supplied by Tyre Glider, and they can be purchased via their website, and I'll have a link below. But there's no discount code here, and I get nothing out of your purchases, as Kevin keeps his margin to a minimum to make NZero more affordable. So now for that giveaway. I've agreed with Tyre Glider that they will give away a set of NZero products for a lucky winner to try. This bundle will include the degreaser, the dry lube and the wet lube. All I need you to do is comment below, starting the message with the word postcode, followed by your UK postcode, and then a comment on why you feel NZero is worth trying. And the word postcode is essential because that's for the random prize picker to select entries. The winner will be picked at random during a future video, and the product will be shipped direct to you from Tyre Glider. So be sure to subscribe, give the video a like, hit the bell icon so you don't miss the draw, and hopefully you'll be claiming a prize. Now this particular offer is only open to UK addresses, but I am trying to arrange some giveaways for other countries. If you're not lucky this time, don't worry, because in the next video we're going to have multiple winners. So thanks for watching, and I wish you luck. Bye for now.